So in every human society ever, people organize themselves to meet their material needs from their environments without buying and selling. So outside of markets, and in societies that don't have markets, things are distributed through reciprocal gift exchange, centralized redistribution systems, and communistic sharing, which is the kind of sharing we would ideally do with our families, from each according to their abilities to each according to their needs. And a lot of production also happens for one's own consumption and production of things like beauty and public goods for everyone. So these non-market economies have been studied by feminist scholars and also anthropologists, but they're largely ignored when we talk about the economy, and therefore people don't seem to even realize they exist. When I tell people I study non-market food systems in Vermont, they're sometimes like, do people still do that? As if they Venmo their friends every time they're invited over for dinner, which maybe they do, and that's messed up. Yes, people still garden, hunt, fish, forage, glean dumpster food with no intention to sell it. People share meals at potlucks and community dinners. People share food with their housemates, gift it to their neighbors, donate it to, and pick it up from food pantries. People, they serve food for free to strangers in the street with solidarity collectives like Food Not Bombs. And I'd say these non-market food systems and non-market economies in general are worth studying and participating in and encouraging and experimenting with and dreaming up for a few reasons. First is that markets direct good things like food toward money. So you have the situation where today in the world, more than 1 billion people suffer food insecurity simply because they're poor. More than enough food's produced for everyone, and about half of it goes to industrially farmed livestock, biofuel refineries, and the waste stream. So there's got to be a better way than markets to allocate that food and other good things. Also, as Caitlin just said, markets force farmers and other producers to prioritize financial viability over goals like justice and sustainability. So they end up having to treat everything like objects, like money, their crops, livestock, the land, workers, their own time. There's a lot of research showing that market settings make people do things that would be considered super unethical in any other setting. So when we go to the grocery store and we're trying to get a deal, we're trying to maximize what we get and minimize what we give. So markets make us treat each other like things to an extent. So the working hypothesis from my research on non-market food systems is that non-market food systems suppress these instrumental values that markets evoke, where we treat the people and ecosystems that feed us as interchangeable means to an end, and in their place, relational values flourish, where we care for and about each other when we share food. We care for and about our gardens or the land that we hunt and forage from. So if we're talking about creating mutually enhancing relationships between each other and between humans and the rest of the mesh of existence, and it's not just relationships as the end goal of the ecozoic, it's also, as Jen just spoke about in the last session, relationships as the way to get there. I would argue that we need to look at economies without buying and selling a lot more. Thanks.